Today we have a special edition of the Masked Singer Recap Show, and I've been waiting here all night for Kyle to finally make his prediction on the bull. And you know what? I think it's time, so let's go. Hi, I'm Mel.
And I'm Kyle.
And welcome to the Talent Recap Show. Kyle, I stayed in the studio all night in this chair waiting for you. You left us on a cliffhanger and said that you were going to make another huge reveal. All right, Kyle, so everybody wants to know who is underneath the bull mask. Are you ready to make that prediction?
I'm ready, and you know, the reason why we're doing the bull, he's obviously a front runner and a huge contender to win here, but Nicole has been very adamant since day one that she knows who this is, and we know we have that take it off buzzer, so that is throwing us for a little bit of a loop here, so we want to make sure that we get our prediction in case she uses the take it off buzzer next week.
You know what, she's not that confident, because if she didn't push it yet, what's the holdup? You said you know who it is, but you know what, Kyle, you're gonna do the pleasure of pushing the imaginary button and reveal who is the bull. So Kyle, actually let's debunk some people first. Who's not the bull?
Yeah, let's do it. So, we've actually heard Nicole predict somebody else for this, maybe trying to throw people off the path, but she has guessed that the bull is Leslie Odom Jr. But there are a few clues that just don't line up there. First of all, Bull talks about being from a small town, and Leslie Odom Jr. was born in New York City and then moved to Philadelphia. Wouldn't call either of those a small town. Also, in the nicest way, Leslie Odom Jr. has been on the award campaign for his movie One Night in Miami earlier this year, so I don't think he's going to be filming episodes of The Masked Singer in between that. And lastly, that's not his voice. I mean, the bull has a very specific style of runs that kind of point to someone, in the maybe like a cappella type world. And so based on those, I have to say that theory is debunked. The second one that we're seeing a lot online is people thinking that the bull is Billy Porter. I definitely get that with the energy and enthusiasm, but again, there are a few clues that just don't make sense for Billy Porter. The first of those is the bull mentions being noticed by Forbes and does a specific call out for that, but Billy Porter has never been on a significant Forbes list from what I can see, but he did just recently get named in the 100 most influential people of 2020 by Time magazine. So it's weird that if he was going to call out a magazine, it wouldn't be Time. So that was one. The second is, again, Nicole is so confident about who the bull is, and I don't think that she has any deep, personal relationship or friendship with Billy Porter from what I can tell. And again, Billy Porter is a very busy person. I mean, they've been filming for Little Shop of Horrors movie, in Pose, and then they're also, in the Proud Family new TV series. So based on all of this, I don't think Billy Porter has the time to be on Masked Singer. So I have to say that theory is also debunked.
Listen, Billy Porter is booked and busy. He does not need the Masked Singer, respectfully. Maybe next season if he's bored or something, but I gotta agree with you. Moving further, who do you think is underneath the mask and who is the bull?
All right, so the bull is someone who grew up in a small town surrounded by cows, and this person is from Plainview, Texas, whose largest employer used to be a beef processing plant. Check that box. The clue about Forbes taking notice of them, this person was on the 30 under 30 list in 2014. And lastly, we have seen clues for the Baseball Hall of Fame, Disney Concert Hall, Carnegie Hall, and Hall & Oates. And this person has the last name Hall. And so based on all of those clues, we know that the bull is...
Drum roll.
Todrick Hall.
Once you said that Hall, I'm like, yes, it makes sense. Kyle, give us some more clues. Why is it Todrick Hall?
Yeah, I mean, there are so many clues pointing to his name specifically. And again, that voice is very recognizable. So let's go through some of the clues. First of all, he talks about traveling around the world to find his destiny. And when Todrick Hall was up and coming, he performed on cruise lines that went all around the world and in touring Broadway and musical productions. He talked about hearing no again and again. And Todrick Hall, was on American Idol before, but, didn't really find his fame there. He didn't win by any means. And so I think that could be pointing to that. He also talked about becoming his own boss. And when Todrick Hall really started to blow up was when his YouTube channel really started to gain a lot of notoriety and attention. So you could say that was him like becoming his own boss and kind of taking control of that himself. We also saw the astronaut from a few seasons ago, Hunter Hayes, floating around in one of his clue packages. And Todrick Hall did a cover of his song Invisible before on his YouTube channel, which has since been set to private. So weird that would happen when that happens to be a clue on The Masked Singer. He also talks about being quite shy, and Todrick Hall has mentioned that in interviews before that he's actually a pretty shy person. We also saw the Scrubs in one of the clue packages, and he has a song called Mask, Gloves, Soap, Scrubs. So that points to that. He also mentioned knowing a thing or two about house parties, and one of his tours was called the House Party Tour. We also saw him in Red Shoes, and that can be nodding to either his appearance in Kinky Boots on Broadway, where red shoes are a big part of that, or his album Straight Outta Oz, because obviously the ruby red slippers are a big part of that Wizard of Oz story. We also saw a Christmas gift, and he talked about rapping, and Todrick has done rapping in his YouTube videos before. We saw theatrical masks as well, which could be pointing to all of his appearances on Broadway or the fact that he's done acting before. And lastly, this Nicole Scherzinger connection has to be vital to the Bulls' identity because she's been so confident in who it is this whole time. And Nicole Scherzinger has released a song with Todrick Hall before. So she was featured on his song Poppy. So all that being said, Todrick Hall is the Bull.
After a rundown like that, I don't know how anyone can doubt you at this point. Like, honestly, if you're doubting Kyle, I don't know what to say for you because the Bull is definitely Todrick Hall after that. I'm gonna have to agree with you. But if you disagree with Kyle, let us know in the comments. If you feel like you missed any clues, also let us know in the comments below. Kyle, this is why you're the detective and I just help guide you, okay? Like, I let you do all the work.
And listen,
I don't know how you do it.
We have seen so many clues for the Bull over all these weeks, so I have definitely missed some. So feel free to fill in any gaps that I left, but I know there are a ton more that I haven't covered here, but we can't let this recap go on 10, 20 minutes, all right? We got to keep it short and to the point. So I've
been in the studio all night.
Exactly.
I've been in the studio all night. I want to go home. But anyways, Kyle, I think it's time for us to wrap up this week's episode. Let everybody know where they can find you on socials.
Yeah, I'm KMonPleasure on Instagram and Twitter.
And then you can find me at _MELBAE. But most importantly, make sure you're following Talent Recap, you guys. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. Anything you can imagine that's a social platform, we're on it, and it's at Talent Recap on all of them. But I think it's time for us to say, and that's our Talent Recap.
Mel? Wake up! Go home, girl!
I'm going. You know what? Bye, Kyle. Goodbye.
Hey, what are you doing tonight? Well, I think you should hit the subscribe button down below and then we can talk.